All right. We're live. We're live. Hey, thank you for joining. I am Owen. This is a special day. I hope that before we get started, you'll take a minute to subscribe if you're watching here on YouTube. We got a really special day for you today. We got here Coach Chris Birky is in the house. How are you, Chris?
Doing well, man. Doing really well. In the midst of everything, still doing the things that are needed on my end to keep my sanity, for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're really glad that you're here because we're talking a lot these days about how everybody is working a ton right now. And you and I were even actually just talking about this before we got started about you. It seems like this is not a time that everybody has a bunch of extra time on their hands. And in fact, everyone has so much stuff on their hands. So, how do you deal with that as that's happening?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely when things just immediately change like that. There's definitely some you got to make some modifications to some aspects of your life. And I think the critical thing for me was making sure I made the adjustments to my routine, and just setting that routine up that fit for me and that I enjoyed, especially in the morning. Because without that routine, I just you feel just kind of little out of control. And with the routine, with some steady that you're going to wake up to, and you know exactly what you're going to do, it helps ease you into the morning with little less stress. Because you're clear about what your next steps are. So for me, it was definitely the routine, getting that set and square immediately.
Awesome. So let's talk about this. So to get to your routine, like let's talk about just who you are and what it is that you do. How do you get to a space where you've got a mindset around these kinds of things to navigate our bizarre situation?
Yeah, so it all started with not having any of these any disciplines or routines, and just kind of waking up, with no, like, I wouldn't say purpose, but no necessary urgency, no direction. And so, it just got to the point where I'm just so uncomfortable, with the way I was living, my surroundings, that it was time to change, something, because it was what I was doing just wasn't working. And it came to the point where it was so uncomfortable that it forced me to change some aspect. And then, ultimately that just led to, a ripple effect of disciplines or additions to a routine, or, whatever it is to help you, stay balanced. But for me, it was certainly feeling way out of control, not knowing, which way was up or down, who I was going to have to talk to, what I was going to do, and just kind of going with the wind. And so, once I took the initial step of, like, maybe I should just start, I don't know, just waking up 5 minutes earlier. Or maybe it was me. Like, for me, I do my gratitude list every morning. It's the most critical thing for me. And in that kind of catapulted into other things, other disciplines, other routines that I added to my morning, and just, and then you finally figure out and puzzle together, what routine really fits, just for you specifically, because it's going to be different for everyone.
Gotcha. All right. So what was that breaking point for you? What was sort of that moment when you mentioned that you were kind of overwhelmed and what have you, but at one point you were just like, no, enough, and I'm gonna make a change. What was that for you?
Yeah, so it was, I think for me, a big part of my transition, was when I moved. I moved from Indiana to California 3 years ago, and to LA, and that really opened my eyes to a different world, different perspectives. And when I did, I was at super low point in my life in Indiana, and I felt I had to run from it. to get away from it. And that's, really was like the eye-opening moment for me, was like, oh man, like there's some big issues here. And so at that point, that's when I got into a really bad car accident, and then got a book that involved gratitude and meditation, and then kind of just catapulted into more learnings, more psychology, and then catapulted into something that I was turned into the knowledge and wisdom and psychology and routines and things, and implemented it with kind of my story outline and the things that I've been through, and just developed a service that helps people come through circumstances that they could do on their own, but it's a little bit easier, a little bit quicker, more pleasurable when it's some assistance and guidance and support.
Gotcha. Oh, man, that's a big change. What was the book that brought so much change for you?
Yeah, it was Changing the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, I love him. I need to. Is it? Yeah. I haven't read that one. But I think I've heard it. Is it breaking the habit of being yourself? Gotcha.
Yep, breaking the habit of being yourself.
Gotcha. Okay. I will check that out. Tell me a little bit about what was in that book and how it sort of changed your thought patterns.
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Joe Dispenza, his outlook, I would say, is in regards to your body is the best pharmacist, in other words, and you can heal yourself just as you can injure yourself and just by thought alone, and so that aspect, well, I don't, if it was the wreck or whatever shook up in me, but I took on to that really quickly, and it made a lot of sense, and then it introduced me into meditation, and just like silencing some of the chaos in my head, the chattering monkeys, and so it just, that book really showed me a different way of being that was possible. And for me, that felt like a really awesome opportunity to invest some time into, and it certainly has definitely paid off.
Excellent. Wow. So all of this, you say, it's taken you on this journey, and now you are Coach Chris Birky, yeah, or growth, and you do personal growth by Chris Birky on Instagram. Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with your growth business.
Yeah, so like I said, it all started with the car accident, and just growing myself personally through some pretty traumatic childhood experiences, and different situations that that you don't necessarily desire going through, but it's part of your journey, and I resisted a lot of that for a long time, until I started learning these personal development skills, and the benefits of them, and how much freeing the releasing these toxic past experiences feel for you as the individual. And I started to get these experiences and these feelings of more freedom, of without having to worry about for example, like my father was a big figure for me, and like having to worry about if I get his approval, or whatever scenario you can play in your head. And I started digging and diving into these circumstances, and it's taken a long time, and it's still always evolving, but that's where I had this realization of I started telling some friends about what I was going through, and like what the results were and the experiences, and they were like super moved by it. And so it just started evolving, and I started talking to more people, and now I've really dialed in some really some awesome skills and abilities, and things that I've grown over the years of just mastering myself, which then allows me to hold space for another individual in just like that loving, compassionate way, because I feel that for myself. And then it just kept evolving and evolving until I'm supporting clients all over, and and it's really rewarding to watch those transitions, because I saw it in myself, and to be able to give that gift to others, it's really, really rewarding.
Awesome. Wow. So we are in this time. So you have these gifts and you like to share them, and we are in a time right now where the entire world has been turned upside down. Everybody is in some way, shape, or form impacted by what is going on with the coronavirus. What advice do you have for folks who, are just, we're talking about leveling up today, right? Folks who they're feeling overwhelmed, or they're losing their motivation, or it's either if you do have time on your hands, how do you get up and get moving, or if you're completely overwhelmed, how do you stop and take a moment so that you can do what it is that you actually want to be doing? What advice would you have for folks who are feeling a little unbalanced these days?
Yeah, definitely a very, very big topic, and I also just want to send my compassions, and for everyone that is going through things, because it is a really harsh reality, and it's something that we are all dealing with as well. So for sure, want to send that out. But in regards to just personal health, I think the biggest thing for me, this is my go-to. It's always been so. It's just like to find some gratitude wherever you're at. It sounds so simplistic. It sounds so nonchalant and overtalked. It has been the catalyst, for my transformation is gratitude, and how I've overcome so many past traumas that were really in my eyes horrific, and it's when you start a gratitude regimen, I mean, there's a multitude of things that you're doing, physically, spiritually, mentally. You improve your relationships, because you're looking for the good, rather than what that person didn't do, or what the government or whatever it is. You're always looking for, when you're in that state of gratitude, you're always just searching for the gem rather than the nail. And it's in that where you can be in that state of anxiety or fear, or whatever it is, scarcity, and then you can still go back and be like, okay, I have a house, I have a family, I have a car, whatever it is, and you can I have love for myself. There's so many things to be grateful for. The fresh air that you're breathing, the phone that you're watching this on. There's so many things that you could just literally rattle off, if you take the time to do so. And so I think most importantly, it's the time that you take to invest into thinking, looking into things that empower you and that you have to be grateful for. Is the first step in creating a different result from your current state.
Gotcha. All right. So step one, if you're feeling in the dumps, write a gratitude list. Write a gratitude
Absolutely.
list. Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So wonderful. So we have something coming up here, actually, I wanted to talk about as well, too. And I'm very excited about it. I've mentioned it a couple times here. Beginning on Monday, we are having the 30-day challenge, which is going to help you to, if you want to get connected with your passion and turn that into something that you can help a lot of people with, and build something for yourself and create an online community around. we will teach you how to do it, and not just teach you how to do it, but give you some accountability. And Mr. Coach Chris Birky is going to be part of this, and he is going to be providing some coaching along the way to help you achieve your goals. So I'm excited to have you on board. How you feeling about the challenge coming up?
Yeah, man, I'm super excited because hush hush, but I got a little sneak peek of what's to come in the course, and I was very excited, and I got very clear on a lot of things when it comes to like my coaching business. So I'm very excited to be a part of it and share a little piece of me and this awesome creation that you have here, my man.
Awesome. So then, know what you're going to bring into it. And I know he's the only one who's seen some of it too. I've kept a lot of it sort of behind wraps, but knowing what you're bringing, what you've seen so far, what advice do you have for the folks who are just getting started in all this challenge?
I think the most important aspect of jumping into something new or like a new course or something is just to understand that you are where you're at and that it's okay, and that if you get overwhelmed with a lot of information, if you start to feel anxious, that it's totally okay and it's part of the process. It just means that you're growing and you're expanding into something bigger for yourself, and to not run from that, and to really sit with it. And if you have to, just take a minute to sit with it and ask yourself, why am I so anxious? And in most cases, you'll find it's probably just your ego saying that this is too hard or something. Mm. And those are just the conversations that you can have in those moments where you're like, screw this, I'm done, I'm done, and then you give up that day. Whereas I hope to inspire you and challenge you to when that time comes up to sit down and no, tell yourself, no, you're not going anywhere. Why am I feeling this? And to push through it, because this course is well worth it. In regards to the information that you're going to get, and it's a matter of having the clarity of I don't know everything about this course yet, and there's going to be a lot thrown at me, and I'm going to learn as much as I can, because it's never going to be done in regards to life, and you're never going to have enough time ever. So, you can get done and know that you did the best that you could.
Isn't that the truth? Amen. Amen, brother. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here, Mr. Birky. Coach Chris Birky, how do people find you? How do people work with you? How do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, man. So you can find me on Instagram, Personal Growth by Chris Birky, Facebook, Personal Growth by Chris Birky as well. On there as well, there's my direct number, my direct email. I am currently available pretty much at any time to get back to you within 24 hours if you do message me. And that should be something that I look forward to hearing from you all, for sure.
Awesome. Excellent. Coach Chris Birky, thank you so much for joining today. It's just awesome value, awesome advice. I really, really appreciate it. It's so needed right now. So I hope that you enjoyed all of this, and the challenge is coming up, so I hope you will join. If you want more details about the challenge and to get your free guide to go from scarcity to abundance, how to unlock and unleash your superpower, then go to owenjward.com. I'm putting the link here in the chat. Mr. Chris Birky, thank you so much for being here. Hit him up. Get a session. This guy's magic. All righty. Thank you all so very much. Sign up now. Get your guide. Join the challenge on Monday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.